You didn't even wash your hands. Hey, I'm Austin.
And I'm Ryan. And this is the Spring Chat.
Where we talk all things Disney.
Resorts.
Shopping. Food. You can catch us at 8:30 on Thursday nights on
Facebook, YouTube,
Twitch, and now Spotify on Amplified Network.
Thanks for joining us here at the Amplified Network. Your show will begin in just a few minutes, but first I want to go on ahead and shout out to our awesome sponsors. First, we have the Mouse Merch Box. It is an official Disney subscription box. It is $60 quarterly if you subscribe, or $70 per box. It's going to come with $120 to $150 worth of exclusive Disney apparel and merchandise, so definitely check that out. If you do decide that you want to check them out, we do have a coupon code for you. Coupon code is going to be Springs20 for 20% off of your order. Next, we have the Great Adventure Supply Company. Great Adventure Supply Company is really cool. They have a bunch of 80s and 90s themed pop culture themed Disney and theme park apparel. So if you're like me, you miss the 90s, you love that style. They recently released some new exciting additions to their store. Be sure to check them out. And we also have a coupon code for the Great Adventure Supply Company that's going to be Magic15 for 15% off of your order. So thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate you and our sponsors. So stay tuned here on the Amplified Network. Your show will be coming up soon.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back on another rainy Tuesday. Is it getting sunny out as it's pouring?
It's been a rainy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's been a rainy week and a half.
Welcome to Florida.
Rough was really bad.
To all
Welcome
my friends,
to Florida, summer weather.
All my friends who came here for
Summer
their
weather.
Disney week,
Summer
I
weather.
apologize.
Yes, you should. Anyway, guys, welcome. The Theatergoers, your boy Tony, my man Tafari co-hosting with me today. This is episode 12. This is episode 11.
We did a double take last week.
I'm trying to move on.
Yeah, we did a double feature last week for Aladdin.
Yes. We did the animated Aladdin last Tuesday, and then we were able to do the live action Aladdin Thursday due to the Spring Chats guys being out of town. They opened up the spot for us. Really appreciate it. Really was cool of them to do that. They're back now, so you guys can go enjoy them as much as you love every Thursday at 8. So, Godzilla, King of the Monsters is what we're covering today. Woo!
Great
Yes! Okay, first of all, if you go to see this movie and you're looking for a very interesting story, you're dumb. This is not what this movie is for, although it did have a good story.
I'll say, do we want to jump into the review discussion?
I'll let you start with that then.
Okay, so for those who don't know how this show works, he hates any and all things like Rotten Tomatoes.
Because
any
it's
and all
trash.
critic score, you get critic as a whole, or is it just the critic scores?
I don't like the critic scores because they're going into it criticizing over as if they're going to win the Academy Awards or something like that. That's how they criticize every movie because that's how they're able to figure out which movie should go into which nominations, which ones should be up for nominations,
Right.
stuff like that. Different awards, different things, right? My problem is that there's so clear of a movie that critically is gonna be bomb because how they criticize.
Right.
Versus you look at all the audience people who put like 50, 60, 70% and higher that they liked it. They're the real ones who are enjoying the movie
Exactly.
as it should be. So that's why even that Holmes and Watson movie from Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, that's not gonna win anything except for maybe like one of those MTV movie, like worst movie, the Reffies or something like that. No, it's not the Ways. Anyway, they give awards for the worst movies. Maybe that might get it, but it's still like a hilarious movie to a lot of people.
You ever see this is taken the Shop with LeBron James? Where he calls it like
where they chill at the barbershop
and
talk? Yeah.
Did you see when he had Seth Rogen in?
No, but I caught some of his highlights.
When he was like, it's weird that like the people who review these films have a different perspective from the people who are like more people have probably seen Pineapple Express than Dances with Wolves in the last like decade. Yeah. He's like, but that will never get any awards, will never get like any nomination. It'll be a hit, and that'll be a cultural classic.
And I love Dances with Wolves. It won like 3 or 4 Academy Awards. I love that movie. I watched 3 hours of it.
I've never seen it. I like that was probably
so good, but the fact that Rogan even brings it up in the shop, and as soon as he finished that saying, what everybody do, they went like this.
Because we've all seen.
They're right.
Everyone's seen Pineapple Express, and then if you
at least know more about it now, and especially in this up and coming generation, than then they're not gonna know what they do.
Yeah, well, so when I saw the meme, it was like too many monster fights, not enough story. It's like, why did you come here? I'm like,
that's why I'm here, as we show you guys. And Obi-Wan even knows like that's why I'm here.
That's it. And then if we want to jump right into it, like you get like a taste in the trailers, and then I thought they were gonna like slow pace it, and it was gonna be a 1v1.
Other than my bad. Other than the trailers for Avengers Endgame and Star Wars, which are supposed to be like action packed and everyone's like overanalyzing every detail.
Yeah.
The trailer shows exactly what the hell you're gonna get. No fake shit about it. No little trickeries or anything like that.
Yeah, all the important characters stay for the entire time, including maybe Ice Cube.
Ice Cube Jr.
Honestly, though, I like him as I like I still haven't seen Straight Outta Compton, but his acting, his character, what he did in this movie, I was thoroughly impressed.
If you liked him in this movie, wait till he becomes a star,
exactly
one of the leading stars of a movie. Bro, you haven't seen Straight Outta Compton? You have to see that ASAP.
I don't know how I always miss all the last rap origin movie I saw all the way through was Get Rich or Die Trying. I never saw Notorious.
Oh my God,
I never saw All Eyes on Me.
Dude,
I never saw
the last one that was kind of not garbage, but it's not as good as the latest.
The thing is, everybody he at least can tell his story because he's alive. Everyone else has so many gripes with those other ones. But as far as
but you can't blame Eazy-E.
Yeah. As far as O'Shea Jackson Jr., he was, I think, I'm not gonna say like phenomenal. He had like a B role in this movie, but he was funny at times. He was important, and then even on the scenes, it was like, okay, yeah, he's one of the few people that made it. I'm not shocked. I did like the whole his like commentary and all the little shots they did of like him and Godzilla riding in the car for like the promo reels is like a goof. And people are like, is this supposed to be the movie? I'm like, no, it's clearly a joke. Like they're clearly not going to show too much footage because honestly, when you watch the film, you get way more than you bargained for. Like when the terrorists showed up in like the first 10 minutes, I didn't expect that to be the thing to jump everything off.
Let's get back to Godzilla because that's a whole.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. When the terror, the fact that there's like eco-terrorism in Godzilla, I thought it was gonna be monsters rise up, monsters fight. The fact that they tied it into like human interaction and what the science people were doing in the beginning.
Why is that action? First one you see it here.
depopulated. That was who else? It was
Thanos. That was Samuel L. Jackson in the first Kingsman movie. That's this movie now. Basically,
I can't believe I'm blanking. Who was the bad guy? Ultron. That was like Ultron's thing. Completely nuke the Earth and start fresh. I watched millions of years of civilization start over.
At some point, see all these similarities. You're like, damn, maybe we should.
Okay, I thought it was cool that they carried over some stuff from the last film. That the fact that these monsters emit so much radiation that wherever they think, life resets itself. So all the cities that were destroyed basically were they basically grow like plants and fruits and trees that are so like rich in nutrition that haven't been seen in like generations. Yeah, and then you see like the eco-terrorism that we want to control the power. Like I completely forgot that Kong Skull Island and that the monsters in there were technically kaijus too.
Yeah, because I remember when Godzilla came out, it was that's why they kept up the timing in this new movie. It's been 5 years since we've seen Godzilla. He was literally killing 5 years.
Yeah, I missed the like first 5 minutes when me and my friend went to go see it. So the main people in this movie lost their Okay, so the main guy has like a vendetta against Godzilla, even though he is basically found a way to communicate with these monsters. His wife continues the research, and they find
updated.
Yeah, she basically found a way to effectively communicate. There's a group of it's kind of like John Wick. It starts off slow at the title credits, and then they get shit jumping like that.
That's right.
So when the terrorists break in and kidnap everybody. Like, honestly, the plot twist got me. I did not see it coming. Like, at no point did I expect that to be a thing.
I knew what she had wanted to do because the trailer kind of revealed too much on that end. I just didn't expect the team up they made.
Oh, towards the end, you mean?
No, with Emma, the actress, and the eco-terrorist.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That whole part threw me. Like, I thought maybe she would, like, they would see common ground.
I knew she wanted to release the things, but I didn't think she'd go that far.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna be like, okay, we have some common ground. Let's see what's up.
Like,
I didn't realize. I didn't realize she was the one who like basically orchestrated the whole thing, and they both basically this whole movie is two parents affected differently by the loss of their kid. And then you have 11 from Stranger Things playing the daughter, which I think she was phenomenal in this too.
She was great.
She was great.
The best one out of everybody except Godzilla.
Season 3, July 4th, I believe.
I know it's coming soon, and it's been too long since we've had it. That's for sure.
All the hype's gone there.
Yeah.
I see no one talking about Orange is the New Black.
That's gone. No, and the fact that the trailer for the newest season of Stranger Things looked amazing.
Yeah, honestly, their budget gets bigger with every season, I believe. Speaking of budgets,
I mean, when you keep going, when you keep going like that, yeah, I figure why not.
But yeah, speaking of budget, 2014 Godzilla had a budget of $125 million. Worldwide gross $529. This one looking at Godzilla is Godzilla Monsters and the box office in early estimates. So he got $50 million and beating out Rocketman and Ma, which Rocketman, I don't, again, you guys know more about what Rocketman's about than me. I know there's a fan base that will definitely watch that movie. Ma looks interesting because that woman has played like the dainty, like female-ish, I'm going to overcome the male person, whatever role, like since The Help. So to see her like being the antagonist of a horror film was different.
It's not good. Don't watch that.
It's not?
It's not. I have a very reliable source who loves it as much as we do. That's that.
Okay, well, Godzilla beat out Rocketman and Ma. So what you're looking at first frames at $22 million and $20 million. Aladdin was still on its way of grossing $1.
They're good. They are good.
So yeah. Tony, talk in the middle. We're saying, I swear.
I swear.
5.
Anyway, when it comes to like I said, it had a story. Was it very interesting? No, it's not gonna win anything off of that.
Honestly, I'm starting to notice that the best movies don't win awards. Like, I don't care. This movie was, without spoilers for Amp in the Room, this movie was just pure violence. It was, if you've ever played, like, I had them pulled up. Hold on. If you ever played any of the early games growing up, Godzilla.
I played that one.
Godzilla Unleashed.
Destroy All Monsters.
I had Destroy All Monsters and Godzilla Save the Earth. Or even, because now they're remaking all these classic games, which they just announced Destroy All Humans is coming back. Mm-hmm. I want a War of the Monsters remake because that is basically what this movie was.
Pretty much.
You basically are just destroying everything in sight, and if some people happen to get stepped on anyway, boo-hoo. Because did you ever play War of the Monsters growing up?
War of the Monsters, no. The only Godzilla game I played was Destroy All Monsters.
I had Save the Earth, which had the mini games in it. War of the Monsters took like every generic monster movie villain, like the giant U.S.-made robot, the giant Japanese robot, the giant lizard, the alien invader, the prehistoric dinosaur, the bug monster gone mutant, and you just were basically, your goal was to destroy everything in sight. There's literally people below you that get squished. You can do things like, my favorite levels in Tokyo, Japan. If you hit the alien spaceship, they shoot a beam down into the water, and a tidal wave literally floods the city, and everyone's gone.
Come on.
So that is the level of destruction you get with this movie, and I was thoroughly enjoying every second of it.
Well, I tell you what, if the first Godzilla was able to do that well, and that was, honestly, in my opinion, I thought this Godzilla King of the Monsters was better than the first one. But I really liked the first one, how it set it up. And the fact that even though everyone was freaking out about two Mutos and that's who Godzilla was fighting, the fact that another one showed up and it looked exactly like the female.
That was my thing. We just like breezed past the fact that it's like, oh, there's a male and a female. They're coming to each other to mate. And that was the whole plot of the first one. And then a third one just shows up like off camera and then pops on screen.
And remember, it's been 5 years since that.
Were you an odd man out or were you an egg?
And in the first one, they destroyed all the eggs. Right. They burned them. So does that mean that's like a secret son they had, or
is it a child,
or was it just held in a different facility?
And then you see all the facilities. Like, I thought we were maybe gonna stretch this out and be like one monster per movie.
Yeah, no. When they said when they asked how many Titans are there, and he was like 17 and counting. I was like, does that mean y'all have all those facilities all around the world?
I thought it was gonna be like, we're gonna stretch this out. One monster per movie. No, they literally pulled a Smash Bros. And brought everybody.
Nah, because they were so stupid about it. Like, this is the one Titan you know the least about. You're literally calling it Monster Zero, which is not a good sign. So instead of waking everybody else one by one, you go for the biggest, baddest fucking one, and then that
was my thing. They're like, King Ghidorah will come back. And I like the fact like all their names and stuff come from legend. Like the fact that Ghidorah, we find out technically isn't even from Earth, and
he's an alien.
He's technically a false king.
Because he ain't from here.
I like that whole prophecy that comes from like the ancient history that Ghidorah is basically a challenger from another land, not from this Earth, and that Ghidorah is the false king that takes on the true king, which is Godzilla.
Right. That's
and then
why
that there are other kings. There's people who are king of their own land, which is technically Kong, and you see even
only Kong.
Yeah. And then you even see like, it was weird that like I was thinking, I thought he was gonna show up in this movie. The fact that he basically stayed in his own area because what is it? They say that Skull Island has its own its own mini planet, its own focus of radiation and whatnot. That Kong is allowed to obey his own commands.
Right, and then the only times you saw Kong where either he was being talked about and then there was a video of him, or there was footage of him, because apparently they said, I remember I watched Kong Skull Island. I liked it, especially with Brie Larson and Loki in there and everything. Tom Hiddleston, there you go. I forgot his last name for a second. But didn't they say they were not gonna share the film at all? Oh wait, you know what? Never mind. Because when there were other helicopters that came to rescue them, they probably recorded everything.
Yeah, remember they're operating under a different organization, and the problem
they were a government.
And the problem and the problem is the government wants control of it, which ends up being the problem when I forget the the monster's name. The first one that they broke out, the flying one, the
Mothra?
not Mothra,
Rodan.
Rodan. When they broke Rodan.
I didn't know his name. I had to ask
That's
for
it,
it beforehand.
the posters just have
Rodan.
Yeah,
the fire demon.
Yeah, the posters just have Mothra. Like as far as names, they just have Mothra, Ghidorah, Godzilla.
Well, and that other one, that's him. That's Rodan right there.
But there's no name.
Oh, yeah. There's no name. Oh, there's no names for them.
I think this is a fan-made poster also.
Oh, well, still, it looks pretty nice.
Exactly. It's badass.
With all four of them? That looks pretty nice.
Well, they had Rodan, and they brought him out as like the first one. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he was
he's definitely going to start.
de Mar in Mexico, the volcano.
Yeah, and all the people started flooding out, and the fact that his wingspan by itself, like just the flap of his wings was like tearing up everything.
A hurricane. I thought that was cool, but I was like, really?
Yeah, and then they were just like, this thunderstorm's coming out. We don't know. I'm like, that's obviously
this tropical storm.
Like,
what the hell?
We watched him shoot lightning when you guys first broke him out of the jail. Like, we know what he does.
That's why they assume since he was basically something from another world, another planet.
I'm curious to ask. Because he has that weird elemental ability. Like
right,
Godzilla shoots
that's what
fire.
They were talking about. That's what helped them figure it out. And while Godzilla can just basically radiate, burn your ass, and then just blow you with this blue dragon flame. So it's like, mess with me, bro. What's up? Mess with me,
you see
bro.
They got to completely rebuild like San Francisco because it's still like in ruins after everything that happened.
It's a lot of plants though. It's
a
lot of greenery.
The fact that all this stuff just grew almost out of nowhere from the radiation of these monsters, especially when the two monsters come together and collide, you had 3 of them in the same area. So you had everything coming back to life. Then the plot thickens with, you think Rodan is just going to get bodied easily by like the military, and then he finally just kicks his shit in and just starts flipping around. Guys,
I've had enough of this.
Basically, we started flipping around, and then one of the dudes tried to eject, and he just ate him.
Yeah, bro. I was like, really? Like, you couldn't go a little bit higher, get away from him? No. Are you like, Cortez, get out of there. Okay.
Only thing that had me confused was when he showed up to the, like when Godzilla came to the Aqua base, and they had like the standoff for a second. I was confused as to what that was about. Okay. I thought either, because they were like, when the Asian dude, the whole movie is like, what, are we going to make him our pet? Like, no, we're technically his. Yes, some of us might die in the chaos, but at the end of the day, if he doesn't fight, we're all doomed anyway. So then when he showed up to the base, I'm like, he knows Ghidorah is free. Maybe this is him marking his territory as far as, because him and the Asian dude technically have like almost a relationship at this point, especially towards like the final act of the movie. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe he's marking his territory, and I'm like, okay, but this guy's a wolf hunter, and now he knows maybe he's being standoffish because the balance has been thrown off by Ghidorah coming back.
Right.
So now he's attacking anything in sight, and that's why Godzilla ends up having the stare down with the main character.
No, when it comes to like the Aqua base, Ghidorah finally got free,
right?
Or at least was being attempted to be free. And remember, that's when this chick used the frequency thing to kind of start it up.
Right.
So when he heard that, he flipped out, got close, and then the whole light show was the intimidation factor. So when they finally put their guns down, then he chilled, and then he, kind of gave him a good scare.
Yeah, I'm saying, was the scare?
I jumped. I'm not gonna lie. I jumped.
Yeah, he got me.
I was like, damn.
Too. I'm like, so when he finally, I'm like, was that scare for them or was that for Ghidorah to be like, do not come down here? This is my.
Nah, he was just messing with them.
So was he like? Did he just know like humans effed up? Like you guys brought back that demon?
I think he figured it out. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out.
Once they put the guns on, I think he figured it out.
I was like, is that him scolding them for bringing Ghidorah out of the ice or marking? That is the only part that genuinely left me confused. Did not take anything away from this film though.
Well, all I know is that the part that really, really got me that I honestly did not see coming was when, Ghidorah whooped his ass the first time they fought. That's whatever. Right. But then when Ghidorah was about to fly into the ship, Godzilla comes out of nowhere, grabs his ass.
He came in.
Like, now you in my territory, bitch.
Yeah,
you
he
in the
came
water.
in clutch. He was like winning and then actually got one of the heads.
He saves these people at the last minute every time. I think he just sneaks up to the thing and it's like,
basically.
Okay, wait, I want to see how this plays out. And then he sees King Ghidorah turning or Rodan turning to mess with the plane. And he goes, okay, wait, let me sneak over here. So 1, 2, got him, bitch.
Yeah, so
it's like, okay, did I give you all a heart attack? Okay,
yeah,
good,
like
good.
impeccable timing every time. But my
okay, no, my bad. The point I was getting to, when he actually ripped off one of his heads, I was like,
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, so he might be like nerfed the whole movie because he's just gonna be a 2-headed 3-headed monster.
Right, when
and
we've
then
seen
he just immediately
3-headed in the
and then
trailers.
he just sprouts it right back. That's the part of the movie where I was like, okay, he's on some next level shit. Because I thought it was just going to be like, okay, rip all their heads off, shoot fire down the throat.
That's when they figured, because it's like, no, he shouldn't have gotten that back. That's against natural order. And then they...
Basically.
How dare you?
That is basically...
How dare you?
That is basically the next scene of that movie. He legit,
was a hype
gave out like a wake-up call to every monster that you knew was like in existence for the film. They all break out, and he literally just gives them a message. It's like, okay, feel free to wreck anything that you literally see in your path.
Right, and basically what they were doing was responding to him with him being the alpha. They're gonna listen to him or obey him, and then basically his signal was destroy everything.
Basically, like the mammoth one, that thing was just like tearing down skyscrapers immediately.
That honestly doesn't even look like Matt. That just looked like a gorilla walking on his knuckles.
But it had like
that had like big ass.
But like it had like the giant tusk though.
I know, but like I didn't see him walking on legs.
It did look like Knuckles. Like
I thought of Kong combined with like a mastodon, and it was just like
So then the whole time though, Kong ignored orders from both alphas that ended up being in this movie.
He ain't there.
No, I'm saying those things were across the planet. That signal they were giving out to each other was stretching across continents. But the Kong apparently has such a strong concentration of radiation on his own little island.
He is his own apex predator.
He's his own king, and like he's his own hero and villain on that island.
I feel like at this point they're really just doing a Kong versus Zilla match just because it was. Well, it's an old school thing. It's a classic.
I feel like Godzilla's OP in that situation because he breathes fire.
I mean, hey man, Ghidorah had 3 heads and breathed lightning, and Godzilla made it.
It was like reptile versus reptile, though. I don't know. Like I feel like
except one reptile didn't like the water.
I feel like Kong might have the swing going for him. But other than that, like I feel like he's more. It's like Pokemon. I feel like he's more prominent to fire damage.
There you go. Well, it worked because that's what ended up killing him. Basically, getting burnt.
True. Then speaking of fire damage, when they were trying to get Ghidorah to fight Godzilla, like the first or second time after they got Rodan out and he flew away, and then they dropped the nuke, which ends up doing absolutely nothing.
That was the second time.
Or not the nuke. It's a nuke, but it was like an oxygen bomb or something.
Oxygen destroyer. That's what it was called.
And then
basically everything within 2-mile radius gets wiped.
And it literally did nothing to Ghidorah.
Nothing to Ghidorah. It messed up Godzilla good. He didn't die from it, but it messed him up good.
Yeah, so then they finally acknowledged what everyone's saying. Like, you literally almost basically mortally wounded your best chance to hurt this thing. I thought it was cool.
Well, everyone thought he was dead.
Yeah, and then they found him under... Which I kind of like that whole scene. The fact that he literally lives in, like, the ruins of a civilization that used to worship him.
They never said it, but I think that was Atlantis.
You think so?
I mean,
it would make in that movie universe. It would make sense.
They even said ancient. It looks like ancient Egypt, which is already one of the oldest civilizations ever. And the guy goes, "Nah, this looks older." And it was underwater. How much more can you even explain? I mean, because
it was underwater, but I thought that was because of like thousands and thousands of years of just tectonic plate shifts and civilizations rising and fall. I thought it was something that might have been topside and then I mean, would it be Atlantis because it was above water, or is it Atlantis now because we found it underwater? That's my thing. That's basically my question.
Well, remember where they found it. Mothra was in the sky signaling, okay, Godzilla's right here. I'm trying to wake him up.
Yeah.
And their outpost was in Bermuda.
Right.
Which is in the city, which is in the water. And then all they went through... There you go. See? So when they dove into the water, they found the super like the underground like tunnel system in hollow earth that makes Godzilla be able to like go from here to there whenever he wants. That looks like Atlantis to
Honestly,
me.
it was because the way they had the cave writings and everything, and like the fact that he was like a part of their society and like all the little tapestries that you found, and then he found the little air pocket is what tripped me out. The fact that that's basically how he has survived for like millennia is just going in there and recuperating every time he has like a near-death experience. And I'm not gonna lie though, I was kind of hoping the Asian dude would stick around, but when he had to go in there to detonate the bomb, and I was like, is that really gonna work? And then it literally supercharged him and like healed him in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because then you get the
he even had so much energy away, he blew a shot into the sky just to like mess with everybody.
That was the thing that tripped me out when they like, okay, he's gonna go like supernova, like the Human Torch in the first Fantastic Four movie.
Bro, when I saw him creeping up on Ghidorah right before he killed him, and he was literally burning everything around him, I thought it was gonna be like a cool ass combination of the blue flame with this red flame. It was gonna look like a Kamehameha with a red Kamehameha right behind it, basically.
Yeah,
and I was thinking like, damn, that would
flames. Yeah,
that would have been amazing. But no, he just stepped on them, grabbed them, burned them.
I can see Cinema Sins just being like, everyone survives this. When it came to the part where they went to the like baseball field to go find the daughter. So there's
shout out.
She got hit by like an entire like boulder, and then just next time you see her on camera, she just walks it off.
I noticed
like
that.
A giant chunk of cement walks and like nicks her in the shoulder.
That's your problem with that scene, bro? She was in a bathtub when they found her in the destroyed
Supposedly
house.
That works. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
That's a movie myth. Just like the whole 24 hours if someone goes missing, that's a myth. Don't nobody believe that. But
I mean, that's where Will Smith hit every day in I Am Legend.
Hey man, but I think that's a movie myth. How does a bathtub survive an entire building falling on top of it?
And then her arm was like sticking out the whole. So I'm like, it's got to be at least broken, right? And it's just like, nope. So then when they're
the thing with Stas, she just put her hand out.
Yeah.
Like,
So when they're fighting at Fenway Park, you watch this big chunk of cement fall out of the sky and legit like knock her off balance, and the next frame is her just running out like full speed, no problem. I'm like, so that did nothing. You're just completely fine.
Well, you gotta remember.
And then when she had the device and Ghidorah looks her straight in the face, I'm like, what did you think was going to happen?
When she took out the mass speakers and she was like, okay, that's enough. He's gonna find me. And then I was like, bitch, you didn't close it. You gotta close it, turn it off or something.
Right.
He literally went, oh, what the hell's in here? Oh.
Yeah, so the fact
frequency.
that like the fact that besides Godzilla and the Asian dude, we have Ghidorah like look like more regular humans like in their faces before he like takes a bunch of them out was crazy.
Nah, that end scene when all the creatures that were around the whole planet,
yeah,
I don't know how they just ended up in Boston like no problem.
That's one thing. Godzilla can swim, which is why he gets everywhere. They just legit.
I think they just ran or whatever. Yeah,
they just trekked the ocean.
They were
I
that
guess.
big. The ocean wasn't that deep. I guess.
I
But when they all pulled up, and even Rodan said something like, "Well, you think you're the king now?" And Godzilla's like,
"Yeah."
And he goes, "Oh, okay."
Am I the one who was mad that Rodan was still alive?
Yeah, I thought Mothra killed.
I was like,
that needle went like right.
It went through like it didn't get hit a vital. It hit like the right under the wing and left a gaping, burning hole.
Hey man, he looked like he died because he even went like this. I'm about to eat you.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, Mothra.
People only do that when they die.
Yeah. So the fact that Rodan got it, I was like, oh, y'all did that to Mothra for nothing.
I didn't like how Mothra ended.
I appreciate the fact that
they kind of hinted that they were like.
I was gonna say
Godzilla and her.
People were saying that like when they said in the movies like they have like an apex king and queen, more so not in a relationship.
No, they have like subspecies after they mate together.
Yeah, but it's like not so much like a physical relationship, but they understand like they're the dominant two of this like monster society. So Mothra kind of signals where Godzilla is and where he needs to go. So they kind of use her to track everything
and to revive him too. And to bring him back, I
was gonna say because when Mothra died, that was like the last.
Was disappointing.
That was like the last of her radiation going to Godzilla, or did they just end her with pixie dust?
No, I think that's what it was.
Because that was my
she
thing.
was radiation too.
And then when Ghidorah found the mom out of like all the things in that city, which I don't even see when she's like that small.
It's because they're playing the frequency.
Also, I was surprised that she survived the car crash.
No, she survived the car crash because you gotta give her the one line.
True.
So of course Ghidorah's about to be like, "Bitch, you about to die." And she goes, "Long live the king!" And here comes Godzilla. Boom.
Which boom. I mean, she didn't make it out of there, but he literally was frying everything within like a 2-mile radius.
I was even saying to myself as I'm watching the movie, the car crash. No, she ain't dead. And then
so?
Ghidorah's about to like kill her. No, she ain't dead. And then once Godzilla did the radiation thing on Ghidorah and stepped on him and the whole thing blew up, that's when I was like, yeah, that bitch dead.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no way she makes it out of that. Like, and then the way he offed Ghidorah was great to me. The fact that he put like the head in his mouth and then just shot it into the sky.
What was he exactly doing? Was he eating it and then just blew it apart?
He was eating it and it's like, I'm rocketing this bitch into space. He legit sent Ghidorah back to where he came from. He ate the head. He destroys
him, yeah.
He ate the head down to where like his
right
head
here,
is now inside
like
Godzilla's mouth and is using it as like a party favor and shoots the flames through Ghidorah's mouth and rockets him off into the sky.
And then you even see him go like this, like, thunder. Lightning, ill.
Yeah, so when all the kaiju or the beat titans, whatever you want to call them, at the end of this movie show up at the end to be like, oh yeah, we're all bow down to the original king. The imposter is gone.
I bought Pacific Rim like 2 days ago, so the fact that you're saying kaiju is like, oh my god, you're so right.
I just because I'm just like, yeah, kaiju, titans, whatever you want to call them. All these movies are like.
I love Pacific Rim too, man.
I've only seen the first one. I didn't even know.
You don't need to watch the second one.
Was it bad?
It wasn't as good as the first one.
I'm not gonna lie. They have a little throwaway game for Pacific Rim. It's actually kind of fun.
No, they don't. Really? They have a video game for it?
Yeah, a lot of these movies come out with like their own little $5.
I would have bought that.
They come out with their own little $5 arcade game. So there's one for Pacific Rim and there's one for I'm blanking on the name. What is the movie where it's like boxing but it's all through robots?
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
No, it is a movie where
is it not? It's literally the boxing with the robots.
No, it's a movie, and the main character finds like this.
Real
Steel. That's what it's called. Real Steel.
Right.
There's a game for Real Steel, and I played the demo like 1,000 times, and it never gets old.
Really?
Yeah, you get to play like all the characters.
For what though? A game for what?
It's I don't know if it's on PlayStation. I know for a fact it's in the Xbox arcade store.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay, then so basically the way Godzilla ended him was cool. I got beef with monster movies. Why is it no matter the size of the monster, small, big, large, whatever, dude, why is it always an insect one that looks like a spider? Why?
I mean,
why?
Maybe they're paying hell to all the classic tropes. I mean, Godzilla, I think, was like the first of all like the giant monster films, and then they had like 1,000 versus movies that came out.
They're about to do like a Godzilla universe, kind of like Avengers, like movie where all the monsters get involved, and you have to put them all on the poster.
Basically,
sure
I wouldn't be surprised because the Godzilla has a universe, The Conjuring, which none of those movies I think have met each other, but they have a universe. Who else has a universe now?
I'll tell you what, the insect thing from Godzilla looked like the thing from Cloverfield, like the first movie. So I'll tell you what, if that is the Cloverfield monster, that is its own universe as well.
Yeah, the Cloverfield has a universe now with the Cloverfield Lane thing.
And then the newest one, the third one, came out on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Is it a Cloverfield movie or is it a show?
No, it's a Cloverfield movie. It's the prequel, technically, to one. Like, everyone wonders how the monster got to New York. It came through a portal or something like that they opened in space. Like, kind of like The Mist. The Stephen...
Okay, that movie, that was a Stephen King or M. Night Shyamalan?
No, that was Stephen King. It was a Stephen King novel.
I hated that movie for the ending so much.
Bro, preach, man. But it made sense. No, it didn't make sense. It was cruel.
It made sense until it didn't make sense 30 seconds later.
It was cruel, and that's what they were going for. Besides, I think that's how it ended in the novel.
Probably. It's Stephen King. Every movie that comes out from Stephen King, including it, is a light version of how dark it actually is.
We should count how many, maybe not today, but another day I'll bring it up. How many Stephen King novels have been turned into movies? Because we know the biggest ones like The Shining.
The thing is, even the movies become like a lighter version of the novel. Like apparently
they did the redo of the remake of Pet Sematary.
I heard that was awful.
The first one? Like the one from the 80s? Really? How old were you when you watched it for the first time?
I watched it in college.
Oh, and you still got scared?
I don't do scary movies.
No, neither do I. I hate scary movies.
I don't do scary movies either. Like, the dolls creep me out, which is why, like, I'm not a fan of Child's Play, but the doll design for Chucky, this sign looks stupid. But
it's scary.
I went and saw like, it. I laughed like more than I was afraid. Like I hate clowns. I think
it's not the clown thing freaked me out to kind of start with, but it's what I knew he was trying to become when it came feeding time.
Yeah,
that's what I like the scene.
Yeah.
In the scene where that Jewish kid gets lost by himself, and all you hear is the footsteps like come up and then bite him in the face. That scared the crap out of me.
Like who played the first Pennywise?
Bill Skarsgård.
No, I think he's the new one, right?
No, Bill. Oh, you mean the old
the
one
original?
That was Tim Curry.
Yeah, Tim Curry.
Tim Curry
scares the shit out of me. The new Pennywise, I had to go see the movie just because the memes are going to ruin it for me at this point. Like, there was some... It's like the normal Pennywise is like, okay, this is... what. Like, when he became a meme for the dancing shit, I'm like, that just ruined everything.
For anyone that doesn't know who Tim Curry is, what's it called? Scary Movie 2, Home Alone 2. He was the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's his, like, best role, in my opinion. I don't care what nobody says. Best role for him ever.
Horrible for me.
Really?
No. Middle school.
Dude.
Freshman year of high school, I was the one guy allowed at the sleepover. Only person left awake, so I'm just watching TV. It's my friend.
Comes on.
It's my friend's birthday. She's like, let's watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And every minute was agonizing. And she, like, I'm talking like slap to the back of the head because she's like, no, you have to stay awake and watch. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
You need to learn to appreciate.
There was no, I think they did a remake with
No, I think they put it up on Broadway.
I think it's out on DVD. And
oh, really?
Yes.
A remake of it, or
the Broadway play I think is on DVD.
Oh, well,
I think.
But those guys, for those of you who don't know Tim Curry, Scary Movie 2, Home Alone 2, and then Rocky Horror Picture Show, his best role, in me and Kenzie's opinion, clearly there's a negative Nancy here. And also the first It. That's the first
His
was.
design for Pennywise was very simplistic.
I just didn't like the end for the first one because he just turned out to be a giant fucking spider. I didn't like that.
I think that was the end of the second one, which is what which I want to see how they tackle that. Because, when you find out from the books, he's also like an alien or something. Like, you rarely see the clown in the second movie.
You mean the remake?
In the original.
They
did the adult, the kids film, and the second, the adult film.
So this new one is
coming up.
Routine.
This new coming is a remake of the second one where they're adults now.
Right. Well,
and if I remember correctly, I think there's a scene either that was cut from the movie, which they either got it from the book or they wanted to improv it in, where Pennywise like eats a baby. Like they had the script.
Yeah, they had to cut that out.
Yeah, they had a script for it and everything where he legit eats an infant child
because it was part of the book
in front of the mom, and she's so shocked. She's like, she's not even bothered by it after like 30 seconds, and they cut it. But I mean, there's always artistic decisions.
Yeah,
which a lot of great ones were made for this film.
Still, the new one though, Bill Skarsgård, he was great. He scared the crap.
The kids were terrified when they met him on set.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's when you know whatever you're wearing, whatever you're doing in terms of the scary or the bad guy is working. When you scare the actual people.
Speaking of bad guys, how do we feel about Ghidorah as a villain this movie?
Dog.
With the help of the eco-terrorists.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He maybe actually, you know what? No, I'm pretty happy with as a bad guy how he was because he literally controlled so many elements of just the planet, and then everyone was just obeying him because he was the alpha.
Yeah,
false king.
That's
the
thing. He's
God.
the false king, and they just recognize
he ain't even from
and
here.
They fell in line immediately. They're just like, we're awake. It's like, oh shit, this guy's back. Do what he said. Basically,
he doesn't even go here.
They wake up and they realize, oh shit, he's back. Just do what he says. And then they don't even question.
Yeah, because ain't nobody else trying to fight him.
So how do we feel about the whole extra ending? Because I'm confused as to what I've looked up theories, and everyone's like, we could be opening up for a Mecha Godzilla. We could go to the future and bring back Mecha King Ghidorah.
I don't think. First of all, they even open that.
Because when they show the ending, like, oh, people are using everything from like radiation levels to kaiju poop to help grow. Yes, like there are articles like kaiju poop taking over the.
True.
Like one of the articles like kaiju poop taking over the keto diet. I know I keep calling them kaiju, but I'm just
I know.
I'm just going with all the all the generic monster names.
What you want to call it? Let's call it kaiju poop because that just sounds better. It can be a new source of energy.
Yeah, they're even like, oh, it's a new source of energy. Oh, and then there's all the serious articles like, wow, plants we haven't seen in generations are now returning and are like superfoods and curing diseases.
Yeah, hey man, they called it that everywhere they fought, everything was gonna be a-okay.
So into the movie, we find Ghidorah's head. What could they possibly do? Like try to revive him?
As soon as I saw that it was the eagle terrors that got him and it was his head, I was like, oh, they're gonna try and bring him back.
Yeah, but apparently he's not returning for the next film. So either he's gonna be in a later installment or he's gonna do some off-camera work.
Maybe that'll take the opportunity, as you just mentioned, from Mecha Ghidorah.
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean, if he's not going to be in this next movie, because we're all assuming
but that involves,
the next movie is Kong and Godzilla.
But that involves Mecha Ghidorah's story of them being like 40 years in the future and sending them back to our present time without it looking ridiculous.
Hey, man, they had one of those planes that is supposed to be made for stealth as an entire carrier.
That's true. They had their own like Unabomber helicarrier.
Yeah.
Overall,
it was the USS Argo, and it was the stealth plane just bigger. That says something for the future. Yeah.
Overall, what would you give the film?
I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10.
I'll be generous and go 9.5.
Yeah.
Because as far as sequels go, sometimes they let us down. This one did not. It did a good job following up, carrying along what plot it had. Every character did their job and executed their role.
I didn't like what they did to Mothra, but it's okay because I'm not even mad.
True.
So basically, we really liked it. Yo, if you're even considering going to see Godzilla, you should know exactly what the hell you're looking for. You're not looking for a best screenplay, best music, maybe good sound effects.
Violence.
But you're looking for violence. You're
that
looking
is it.
for
Look
a
forward
fight.
to violence and
Thank
fights.
you. Just to get that out there, because you never know, people lack common sense a lot these days.
All right, so what's next? Are we doing Child's
The next
Play?
one... No, the next
what
one...
were the options
No,
again?
the next one is Rocket Man or Toy Story 4, but you know
what
what?
else was coming out that we saw?
The following week is Child's Play.
It was...
No, this coming week is Toy
Men in
Story.
Black and Shaft, because Toy Story is after our next
Oh,
show.
right.
So we had
Okay.
Men in Black, Shaft, and that was basically it, because all that other stuff doesn't come out to the
Okay.
21st.
I mean, it's obvious what we're seeing next then. Men in Black.
Is it technically an MCU movie? Can we count this? It's technically Thor and Valkyrie.
It is not a Marvel movie, thank you. But no, guys, next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, Men in Black International. They finally bring back the Men in Black. I can't wait to see it. Thor better be funny, because he ain't no god no more.
Right.
So, Valkyrie, I'm already a fan, so I don't even care. I'm just glad she's in the movie. So, tune in next time, guys. I'm Tony, Tafari, the Theatergoers. See you all next time.
We out.